start to understand about the tango walk. And now the first problem is how we walk. And when the people start to describe the walking, the problem with tango is to start to preserve the axis. And now, rule number one, we start to work with something I call the happy dog muscles. We're talking about these core muscles. Yeah, so I have a little rotation. Normally, if I walk on the street, maybe you can put your hands in the back. You walk normally, you're gonna start to see the hip have certain rotation. Yeah, that basically what this do is the core start to move the hip, and the extremities is the legs. Just use that energy is coming from the hip. And now, the first idea we start to feel is when we walk, letting they start to create the energy on the standing leg with this little rotation. And after we start to use something I call the shock absorbing, allow the stretch to have a little stretch there. But the harder part is start to preserve the dimple on the standing leg. Right? What it means dimple? If I smile, I have a dimple here. But if I hold my cheek, I'm gonna start to have the dimple. And now, start to feel like using the core to help you to stay longer on the standing leg, and you start to release the tension to the next leg. So using this idea to drop the hip, to reach, but at the same time, the standing side is strong. One of the problems we have is if I collapse the hip, normally I end up putting the weight on the external side of the foot. If I can point it out, it's basically is this. If my hip collapse, normally the energy goes to this side of the foot. If I use my dimple, I use it in the inner thighs, and now I end up putting the energy kind of this side here. What is important to put in there? Maybe that makes a big difference, but your foot and your hand have similarities. It's like the inner muscles on the hand are the stronger muscles. External muscles on the hand are the weakest. Well, all together have certain function, but normally the inner side is what we used to use as strength, or if we have a hard work, we use that muscles. Now, what is important to feel is the alignment on the hip depends on the support on the foot, or the support of the foot depends on the alignment on the hip. Now, inner thighs, strong side of the foot, dimple, little rotation, and we try to feel this idea to relax. And after we start to explain this idea to use the arch of the foot. Yeah, when it's with this point of relax, now the arch of the foot start to get power to the hip to land there. And now basically what we try to use is on this idea when the follower is thinking about the walking back. Walking back.
Yeah. So we're working still with the core here. We start with the rotation. For me, one of the things that is really important here is to think about the standing side. And what I'm thinking more in terms of the standing side reaching forward, and as a consequence the free side ends up going backward, then in terms of going backward, because sometimes when you're thinking of this in terms of going backward, you end up activating here. Yeah, you can tighten the back to do it. It becomes this. Happens often. So you try to avoid that. If you look at this free side, this is fairly passive. The back is pretty relaxed, and then more working here with the core, and then reaching. Attention not to have attention to the turnout, right? Because when I'm in this position, I do have quite a bit, but I don't continue in that direction. Because if I start to walk like this, it doesn't work. So from here, I'm going directly backward. Yeah. So we have I have a slight V, but that's pretty much it. Not a big turnout. Core, reach, weight transfer, core, reach, weight transfer. During the weight transfer, I like to go on my straight leg. I find that if I bend my leg too soon, that I sit, and I don't want to sit. So if I'm going here, and now I'm feeling even a stretch there behind my knee, and that leg is straight, it's keeping me up. If I bend here, then I sit. So I'm pretty much straight, and I'm thinking I'm going up. As I'm getting to the axis, then I can bend that knee and be relaxed. But if I bend it too soon, I find that it's not so good. So straighten the leg. There you go. And here, core, core, core,
and build with the dimple.
core.
Remember that? Dimple to start, dimple to finish.
Yeah, you want to pay attention when you're going through all of this, that you're keeping our alignment here. They're not collapsing in this direction, sometimes they do. Or if you did it well here, sometimes when you're transferring the weight, you go like that. Not in the diagonal, now. You're off. So here in the middle. It helps to think of the adductors in this part. If you think that you're closing your legs like scissors, using the inner thighs and the back legs pretty much pulling you in, it helps you to stay in the right place.
Yeah, most important, the idea to feel where you stand and you try to go back. In that way. Maybe this helps you too. Some people think about to go back, and the other thing about standing on top of this leg. Right? It's different if you just try to go back or just standing. Because normally it's not much to go back. And after we start to explain this idea, start to walk to details. First, you start to finding this idea to use the release in the hip. Normally, if you walk naturally, if I do it in slow motion,
It's already there. The release is part of your natural walk. And from the leader's perspective, you're going to be thinking that that's important not only for your own step, but it's also important because that already gives the follower the intention for her step. But the followers are doing the same because you're always trying to keep that hip relaxed, and then the movement starts there with the spine and the core, goes to the hip, goes to the leg, and that's how you'll be moving.
now, going back to the same idea, we start to release, I start to give the space, but we start to preserve the action of standing there. Abdullah, he saw when we're putting the intention a little more to the edge of the foot. This is what we do. Like when I need to release the hip, I'm going more to the string of the toes. Now from there, she starts to feel the intention. You can practice this in this way. You can do that with this homework. Like standing, start to give the intention, and try after reach the leg. Now to go use the arch of the foot, to start to forward, start to create the next extension. Releasing this. When she gets there, and then you can reach, relax the foot. Normally, this is start to give you the way you can control the transitions and have a smooth walk. Normally the problem is doing something like this. It is energetic, but normally it's forceful a little bit. And the other side to create a nice controlled way you can walk, and you can start to reach the leg and have a very nice elegant and controlled walk. And the other thing I started to explain was a little bit from the upper body. This idea to start to release. Yeah, if I have a natural walk, normally it's not a reason for her to feel like leading anything. But one of the problems we have the leaders normally is the embrace. It's a shape, but it's with tension. And they lead, but it's not giving any intention to the follower. And when they try to lead a pivot, you don't reach the sensation to her. If you walk straight, it's not so bad. But if I want her to change the direction, I need to find them, like we do these simple exercises. If I try to touch this shoulder around the follower, normally at certain points you're going to start to feel. If I use my arm, she's not feeling it. But if I really start to reach, she's going to get the sensation, right? The idea is to start to find them is not, the other problem I find them, some of you, the tension is to pull the shoulders down. Normally when I pull down, my shoulder blades in the back are not free to move. But if I want to reach, it needs to be natural. After that, you get the sensation, I said to some of you to do this. To do this. Start to feel like maintaining the center of the motion, and I start to create a little pivot using that sensation. Right? Now you can create that. From there, that's the way you're going to start to see where you drop the energy, and I start to feel it again. You put the hands on the pocket and you try to make the lead of the pivot. Feeling the energy is really coming from the back. Nothing to do with the arms. And after that, it's feeling like you close the energy around the follower. It's if you try to hug somebody, the energy is to involve. It's not to, right? Start to feel that. And now from this sensation, we start to feel the lead. Like I try to hug and try to embrace, and I start to create the energies on the follower around the axis. Using that sensation, right? And after say, okay, after we get the sensation, we are creating precisely the pivots on the follower, we start to get 3 degrees. 45, 19, 135. Normally from here, we're going to have 45. In front of me, that means 45 degrees. Normally it's 8 in this place. Yeah. If I have 90 in front of me, in this case it's going to be 180 for her, but normally it's the degrees, it's going to be 8. But if I decide 135, this is going to be going around the leaders to start to create that. Yeah? And this start to feel, when you decide how many degrees you want, and to be specific, what's the next move is going to happen. Normally, the leaders are not treated that way. It's to be specific with the follower, how many degrees the hip going to have to create tonus or whatever you want to create. And after one of the last exercises was 2 exercises, 3 exercises. One is to start to feel first, we do it in the wall. I'm going to do it like, imagine this is a wall. I know it's not there, but the idea is start to feel like you can use it on the wall, using the pillow, and then start to feel how the back is moving. It's not closing in, it's not expanding. Yeah, and now there's like rotation from the core, and the back is free to move. The second one was with the bottle. The idea is to start to put the option to the side. Remember the dimple, the inner thigh, the strong side of the foot. Bring the core with the hip. Move the hip away. Bring the bottle. Change the weight. Switch. What happened? What did I miss?
Nothing.
Uh-oh. She peed? No.
No.
Okay.
I just started to drink it.
Okay.
She's drinking it from the floor here.
No.
It's a cat.
And the last thing we start to do is we can practice even in couples. Like if she have, imagine she have something in the side, they can put in this. The idea is this is not moving from here.
It doesn't have to be somebody else. It can be just a reference. So if I do this, imagine that this edge here is my reference, the edge of the curtain. So I bring the object there. You see how it's aligned there. And then I bring the hip around and bring it back. Yeah. This helps you to see whether you're moving that object around or not. Yeah. Well, so that will help you to learn to isolate the embrace from the pivot.
And after the other thing I started to do was with the follower. I start to feel like I start to make the pivot, and after I do mine, after I do the hers, mine, and this, and that, and you can play with that, and after we can do on the same, in opposite direction, or the same direction. Difficult, but not impossible. And after that, we do some movements. The leaders, they need to focus to build the dimple, to sustain the posture of the follower. Keep that when you make the pivot, still feel like she's sustained there. And after that, we start to do this from the ochos. When she's going in one, you change to the others. Right? Maybe that. Maybe this. You can have many options. The most important to me is when you can play with that. It's a lot of fun. Let me show you a little. 20 seconds.
Okay, enough already.
I was teasing her. Okay, well, I think it's important when you can start to play with that, start to feel how you can dissociate and play with this. Normally, the tendency in the idea is to do the same with the follower is doing and not isolate much. Normally, if the energy is coming from the steps, with this kind of energies, that's not nice, but normally you have only one way to do it. And this is the energy and the motion. It's okay, it's not wrong. But normally it's that. The only in one direction. But if you can start to divide that energy, it's okay if you play with that. Now you're going to have more variation. And not only shaft the action to one impulse, one energy, and you're going to use that to make the people. So more control. After eating and dance like this.
It's just like.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.